Hello, welcome everyone. How's everyone doing today? I am very excited to share with you this recipe that I have. I have to tell you, I I said I'm gonna make cauliflower scallops without knowing how to make cauliflower scallops, and I did it. I made them, and they're gonna be fantastic. I'm very excited to share with you. And I was thinking as I made these last night because I've gone through. This is like the third head of cauliflower. Was that this works well as a snack. You'll see parents out there, vegetarians even out there. It works really well as a healthy snack. So I am excited to share it with you. All right, so let's get into it. We are doing as said it lamb chops, lovely lamb chops. You know the thing about lamb, it's definitely people are divided about it because either people like it or they don't, or they're like the idea of lamb. They're like, I don't really I don't know. Maybe because it's just beef, chicken, pork, fish, and the idea of a lamb. They're like, but it's so good and it's so tasty and it's good for you. And also, it's one of those things that it's one of those meats that all religions eat. So it's sometimes if, at certain parts of the year it's really hard to find because people are eating it for their dinner. So I like it for many reasons. Lamb chops specifically because it's very easy to make. I put them in the broiler, usually like 6 minutes or so. I like them to be medium rare, and so we're coming home from work, and I'll just pop them in and make a salad, and it's a great easy meal. So that's one of the reasons why I really like lamb chops. Easy, easy, easy. Okay, let's get into it. All right, so I'm gonna show you how I make this cauliflower scallops. This like I said, I was all week. I was like trying to figure out this recipe, and last night I did it. Pure jubilation. I was laying on my rug, just like I did it. I made it. This is exactly what I wanted. Okay, so let's get into it. Oh, and I'm making Brussels sprouts as well. I have them cut, have them halved, washed, cleaned, and have them halved. So I'm gonna wash my hands, and we'll get into this. Hope everyone had a fantastic week. So excited that you all are joining me and that you have been joining me. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, let's get into it. All right, so we're gonna start with the cauliflower first because that takes the longest to do. But it's delicious once you get into it. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the cauliflower. It's raw cauliflower. Once I figured that out, I'm gonna place it in the KitchenAid food processor. I tell you, once I got this food processor, I've been like thinking like all these things I can make with it because I absolutely love it. I told you I had one many years ago, and I just didn't really take advantage of it as much as like I should have. There's lovely, absolutely lovely. So I'm gonna throw raw cauliflower into this food processor. Should be enough, maybe a little bit more here. I tell you, I have all the cauliflower I need for a year currently in my refrigerator. All right, so I'm gonna put this on and give this just a quick little process on high. And the thing I said before, I love how this isn't very loud. You can hopefully still hear me as I do this. All right. So now that this is kind of like, basically kind of like, what do they call it? Cauliflower, rice cauliflower, or that kind of texture that you can find in um, your local grocery stores. Now, this is what I'm going to do to it. I'm going to add, because I absolutely love garlic clove, 2 eggs. You see here, I think you can see that somewhere swishing around there. 2 eggs, a half a cup of Parmesan cheese, which is going to be delicious to that. And this is part of like when you want to, if you wanted to make, parents out there, if you wanted to make this for your kids, it's pretty tasty. Little cheese, and they're like, okay, it has like a cheesy taste, then they won't even realize they're eating something healthy like this cauliflower here. If you want it as a snack, but this, and I'm adding a 3/4 cup of flour. I'm gonna hit it with some nutmeg because I love nutmeg. Put that in there. And then I'm gonna do a bit of salt. If you remember, I've said this before, Celtic sea salt is the best salt you can use. You should have this, you should have it in your kitchen when you're cooking. It's absolutely, and a little bit goes along with this salt. Okay, just a pinch of that. And then we're going to hit it again in the food processor. I'm hoping that's everything. I did. No, I got it. Look at that. Yeah, it's getting exactly how I want it to be. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Do we have any comments out there? Yes, nutmeg is a great addition. I love putting nutmeg. Even when I do my mashed potatoes, I'll put nutmeg in my mashed potatoes. It's a really, really nice touch. All right. So there you have it. I'm going to take this out here. It smells wonderful. That garlic smells so good. I I would put more garlic in it because I love garlic. I'd probably put 2, but two cloves, but it may be a little too strong. But I just love that. All right, so now this is what I'm gonna do. I have this. This is could be for like mini cupcakes. This baking dish here. But what I'm going to do, I have my oven set at 400. Let me grab another bowl here. Oh, here, this one. I have rosemary here. I'm gonna take a little piece of rosemary, place it in here, and I'm going to take half a stick of butter here. I'm gonna throw it in the microwave to melt this butter. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the rosemary butter, I'm gonna place it in each of these here. And then I'll pour the cauliflower into here. So because obviously you don't want it to stick, but that butter and rosemary is just gonna give an extra hit of flavor. Really, really nice. Let me move this over here. More cauliflower bits. Perfect. Let me do another 30 so that melts for me. These are very, very tasty. You get a spoon. All right. So we have this melted butter in that rosemary. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a spoonful and just place just on the base as just like so that the cauliflower doesn't stick. And just fill every single one of these here with that. And once you get this down, you can experiment with a different type of cheese you'd like to use. Let's say if you wanted to do this for your little kids, if they had a certain cheese that they like, you can substitute the Parmesan cheese for something else, maybe even a cheddar cheese, because I know that parents want their kids to get their vegetables, and it's not always the easiest to have a kid enjoying a vegetable, and this is definitely an easy way to sneak it in. Those little rascals won't even know they're eating cauliflower. They won't even know it. Okay, over here, my spoon, and then now I'm just going to take, as you see, and fill up this sheet here with the cauliflower, just like so. Now okay, this is what I would do for me, but I'm making this I would put cayenne pepper in here because I like a little heat, but not everyone enjoys a mouth on fire and a runny nose and sweaty while they're eating. But I do like that. My mouth to be like, whoa, what was that? That's delicious. Wake up. Here we go. But I'll save that for another day. For another day of this. But I'm quite excited to show you guys this. And the other thing you could do, if you wanted to, let's say you could use a bigger pan, and you could possibly make this as a bun. So if you were wanting to do a burger, a healthy burger, you can make this your bun. It's also an option. There's many ways you can do this. It's really cool. I was quite proud of myself. I was quite proud of myself for that. Okay. Pop this in the oven for 20 minutes, 400 degrees. Set that timer. Okay. As I stated, lamb cooks very, very quickly. So that will be the last thing that I do. And I have Brussels sprouts here, cut there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with this blender, I'm gonna bring my blender out. I'm going to make a jam that's going to go with the Brussels sprouts. I'm making a mess in here. So I'm going to do a little jam that goes with the Brussels sprouts. So I have bacon and I have some fig jam here, some fig chili spread. So I'm going to put that in the blender, and that will be what I'm going to mix with the Brussels sprouts. I saved the bacon fat when I made the bacon this morning to prep. So I'm going to throw the Brussels sprouts in there with that bacon fat as well. And let's grab this. And that's going to be a very, very, very tasty dish. I'm excited for that one. Okay, so let me get my blender. This blender here, which I love, Oster blender. What I love about it is it has a smoothie button and a salsa button. So it's quite smart actually to know exactly what you are wanting, what you desire from your blender. It's pretty smart. I love that. Okay, so this also this also is the first time I'm making this dish. I think of these things when I'm eating, and or if I go out to a restaurant and I try something, I'm like, how can I make this my own, or how can I tweak it? So I do that a lot, even with the cauliflower scallops. Although scallops is a generous term to give them. It's just the shape, and it's a little like intriguing. But yeah, the first time I made them, first time I'm making this is just an idea I've had because I've had Brussels sprouts with cranberries, and I've had Brussels sprouts with bacon, and it's nice to give that a little sweet. I'm a big fan of savory sweet mix, so I always try to find ways to incorporate this. Even when you do like a picadillo, you have the beef, and then you can do raisins and olives, so you have that salty sweet. I like that touch, and I know it's not for everyone. You know, like when you do pineapple on pizza, it's definitely controversial for many people, but some people enjoy it. Let's see if we have any questions or comments. If you don't eat bacon, any sub for that? You could do turkey bacon. If you don't eat meat at all, then you can do. If you don't, here, this is what we do. If you don't eat meat at all, but you kind of want like a little hint of that, this is what I would do. I would roast some pine nuts and do the pine nuts with the fig, and then maybe hit it with liquid smoke, just a touch of liquid smoke. And you can find this on Amazon, liquid smoke here. It's really good. Just a touch of that, and that will give you this smokiness that this bacon will give you if you don't do that. So that's an option. Yes, I love sweet and savory is just fantastic. It's so good. All right, let's get into this. Let's try it. I haven't done this. Let's try it. Where's the top of my? Where is the top of my? Here it is. Blender. Okay, let's do this. So I'm gonna put a generous amount of this fig spread in here. This fig spread I've purchased at Whole Foods, so you can find that there. Usually, where you find where I found this Parmesan cheese that I grated for the cauliflower. All right, so I have 3 pieces of bacon that I had them crispy. I want them crispy so it's not, so it'd be easier to break up. Close my cupboard. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's give it a go. We're experimenting live together. This is what we do. This is what we do. And then I'm gonna just hit power, and then I'm going to hit salsa. See what happens. So the blender obviously is a bit louder. I use this blender every day because I make a smoothie for myself every single day. And what I've noticed is when you hit either smoothie or salsa, it pulses, which I like. So I have a break to talk. And you can hear me when it takes a break. But it looks like it's working out exactly how I wanted it to. Look at that. Hold on. Let me just stick a spoon in here to get stuff off the sides. Oh yeah, that is working out perfectly. Wow. I have to say, when I have these things in my head and it happens, it's so nice. It's so nice. All right, I think that's good enough. It looks, yeah, looks really good. I'm gonna put it in a bowl to show you because this, wow, really good. Look at this here. My spoon. Oh yeah. So it almost has the consistency of like caramel, or as we say where I'm from in Indiana, caramel. um, and maybe a little like peanut butter has a bit of that consistency, and the smell is absolutely amazing. This honestly, you could probably put this on bread. If you were having like a party or something as a little appetizer. Let me get a spoon. Let me get a small spoon so you can see this. Look at that. I don't want to drip on my computer, but look at that. I would just, I would just eat it up. Okay, so let's get the Brussels sprouts started. I'm gonna get a high heat. Then, as I stated, I have the bacon I cooked. There's still that fat in there. So, although I probably still would add a little bit of butter just because this is just what it is. It's just flavors. It adds. It's like, I love it. I love butter. And you should too. You should be cooking with some butter. Where's my cutting board? Just give like just a little bit of butter. Why not? Why not? What is this? This is about tablespoon, maybe, putting in there. Generous, very generous amount of butter. We got any questions? Oh yes, you pulse when you salsa too. I love that. Yes. We can salsa. We can salsa while we salsa. I love that. We'll get this going. So I'm gonna have a pretty high heat, medium high heat on this just to get it going and melted. This pan here that I'm using is from Le Creuset, which I really love. You can find that on Amazon. I use it all the time. If you were to see it, it's the iron skillet and the Le Creuset is what I use pretty much every day when I'm cooking. It's not as high maintenance as an iron skillet, but the iron skillet is going to last you, as I stated, forever. I've had mine for 20 years, easily 20 years, and my mom has had hers as well for about 20 years. So, if you're looking to gift someone who loves cooking, here I'm going to tell you a few things to gift someone who loves cooking. A really good bottle of olive oil is a really good gift, and or some kind of iron skillet, cast iron skillet, whether it's something like the one that I've used, or even we would have a mini one. Oh, here. Someone who enjoys cooking would even find use for this one, this mini cast iron skillet. You may even find use for that if you enjoy cooking. So there's a couple of gift ideas. Father's Day is coming up. If your dad enjoys cooking, maybe think about that. Or get him an apron, canvas apron, which I love. I can't tell you how many shirts I've ruined cooking and getting like flipping something or getting like an oil splatter on my shirts and then having to YouTube how to get grease or oil out of a shirt. This is the key. Nice little apron. All right, so we got butter and bacon fat going, sizzling. It is sizzling. All right, we're gonna drop in these Brussels sprouts. Get those going. I will put once the Brussels sprouts start to basically sweat a bit, then I'll drop in the fig jam because I don't want the fig jam to burn because the sugars in there will start to caramelize and it starts to burn. So I'm gonna do that at the last minute once all of the Brussels sprouts start to sweat. Okay. Do we have any more questions? Any more comments? Everyone's excited to see what's going on in the oven with the cauliflower scallops. Questions, comments, anyone curious? Nothing. Everyone's content. I'm gonna turn the heat up just a bit more on these because I really like them. Oh, I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna do a little cracked pepper on these. Maybe just a little bit of salt, just a touch. I know the bacon has enough salt in it, but just a touch. Just a few crystals here and there. I don't want to over salt anything because that's over salting. You can ruin a dish. It's best to maybe after, then you can like, okay, it needs salt, then hit it. Versus you can't take the salt out once you've put it in. So always a little cautious with it. We have 7 minutes left on the cauliflower. It's starting to sweat in there. Perfect. And then I'll hit it with this. It's quite sticky, which one of the things I really dislike is being sticky. But we'll work it out. We will work it out. Every time I make Brussels sprouts, I always think of the movie Little Shop of Horrors when the Audrey 2, if you've seen the movie. Audrey 2 is, let's see what we have here. When Audrey 2 is tiny, you have that like, that little, feed me, Seymour. That little fit, look at that little cute. Do you remember? If you've never seen the movie and you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. But you should. It's really good. It's really good. Yes, a classic. Yes, it is. It's a really good movie. I can't tell you how many times in life I've referenced certain things from that movie, even other movies from like the 80s. Like, all right. So when I get to the lamb, I'm excited to show you how I do it slightly a bit differently. I don't season the lamb when I throw it, and I do the broiler. I don't season when I do it in the broiler. So most people, when they cook, they'll season their red meats, white meats, the other white meat. Um, but when I do lamb, I don't do that, and I'm going to show you my trick for that. All right, so the Brussels sprouts are starting to sweat. When I say sweat, this is what I mean by sweat. There. Now I will throw in the fig, bacon, and get that going. Oh, you know what I'm going to do here? Because I didn't do it with the cauliflower, I'm going to do it here. This is really hot, by the way, but when you cook, you get used to your hands being on fire. You're used to burns and touching hot things, and I'm going to hit it with some red pepper flakes. Because I didn't do this with the cauliflower, I'm going to hit it here. Because just the light amount, just the teensy bit amount. Let me get a spoon. And kind of spread this fig, bacon deliciousness There we go, getting covered. Look at that. So they're all taking a bath and getting sticky in this fig. I'm gonna take a look at that. See there? They're hanging out. You can smell that bacon. 3 minutes left on the cauliflower. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna place the lamb here. Actually, why not just put it in my dish? I make my lamb in here in the broiler. So throw it in here with olive oil so it doesn't stick. This isn't extra virgin olive oil. This is just olive oil for sautéing and grilling. Extra virgin olive oil I save for when I'm making salad dressings. At this point, everyone should be making your own salad dressing at home. You shouldn't really be buying salad dressing. It's very easy to make. I'll show you when I'll do a salad one of these days. It's super easy to make, and it's much healthier than any dressing you're going to purchase at the grocery store. Just make it at home. So much better. Better for you. You can keep it, you can make it and store it, or just make it that day and eat it. But I'll show you what I do at some point. Okay, so just like that, olive oil only, and they'll go in the broiler in 1 minute once these beautiful cauliflower scallops come out. I'm gonna give this a quick wash. My sponge. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with my lamb on here. Any more questions? Any more comments? Anything? Anyone want to sing Little Shop of Horrors? These Brussels sprouts are looking great. Look at that. So we have like some nice dark, some little charring going on the face of them. That's what you want. And you don't want them to be, there's like a, 1 second. Get some timer. All right. So these are ready. Look at that. Beautiful. So I'm gonna let these cool off here. So what I was saying with the Brussels sprouts is you want to, let me hit the broiler high, start. There's a delicate balance because you don't want them to be mushy. You want them to still have a little bit of like al dente. So turn the heat off, turn the fire off. I'll leave them on there because there's still heat coming, just to cook just a little more, just in case there's one or two that maybe need some love. And we'll get the broiler going. I'll put these in. These are going to be, they're pretty thin. So I would say 4 minutes, 5 minutes, do a flip, and then they'll be ready. Because I like to eat mine medium rare. Most of my red meats, I like medium rare. If you're eating well done, anything well done, steak, well done stuff, we need to have a chat. We need to talk. The food looks so good. Thank you. I wish you were here to try it. Oh, and happy birthday, by the way. Let's pop this in. Broiler's going. Pop it in. I'll set my timer for, let's do 3 minutes, just to say. We'll experiment. 3 minutes. Okay. Now, this is what we're gonna do. Watch what I do here. Salt, pepper. paprika, and maybe a little cumin, maybe touch cumin, and we've been friends a long time. I call her Rosemary. Little Rosemary, and my beautiful knife. Okay, this is what we do. I season here. I season the board. Okay, the salt here, cracked pepper on the board. Yeah, paprika. Hope you guys can see that. I'll move this back a bit. Touch of cumin. Oh, there's no top of that, so cumin. We'll do a little tiny bit of cumin because cumin's pretty strong. Maybe a dash more of the salt. Oh, how could I forget? How could I forget? My heat. My heat. The heat doesn't only live in Miami, baby. The heat. Crushed red pepper, darling. Crushed red pepper. Bam. On the board. Let me cut up some rosemary. Here. Rosemary, and look at that. That's just gonna sit right there. Just gonna do like, I'm gonna zhuzh it with my fingers. Zhuzh it. Zhuzh, zhuzh, zhuzh. Like this. And we're gonna just spread that out and wait for the meat to come out. There's a minute left on one side. I'll flip it. My glove. Very nice. Brussels sprouts looking good. Smelling good. We got 30 seconds there, and then I'll hit it for, I'm gonna do the other side looking at it. I'll do it for 4 minutes, okay? Then we'll start plating things. We'll start getting into it. Four minutes for that side. So there are times I will cook certain, let's say like a burger. I'll season a burger before I put it on, but doing the seasoning afterwards, the flavor's just like, it's all there. You're not losing anything. You're not losing some of the seasoning in the pan getting stuck to the pan. It's all just like right there. So it hits you, you taste it, and you're like, woo, yes. Do you like cooking with fresh spices or dry spices? I like cooking with fresh spices. You can wake up a spice, give it a, I don't know if you've ever seen that. Get a spice, give it a smack, wake it up. We won't go there, but you can do that. But I prefer fresh spices because you never know how long, people have spices in their cabinet. You never know how long they've been sitting there. They, years, several years. So I like to do the fresh ones. Keep it fresh. Okay, let's get to plating some things here. Let me show. I could probably get this out by hand. Look at this. Look at that little cauliflower scallop. Look at that. So lovely. I'm gonna have so many. I probably have to, knock on my neighbor's door, be like, "Hey, would you be interested in a little cauliflower?" Cauliflower. All right, that's looking good. Put this away. This is when I need an assistant, when I have all this stuff around and I'm done with this live feed, and then it's like, then I have to clean everything up. I have to eat, Then I have to clean it up? Come on. What's going on? Thank you. Thank you, Isabel. Yes, it's tasty. I wish you were here to try it. All right, we got 2 minutes left on here. Let me check it. All right, that's ready. I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to show you. Okay. Here's the lamb. Looking like that. So it doesn't have anything on it, obviously. Season's gone. All right, let's start plating. We'll just have the lamb just for a second, sit for a second so I don't burn my hand. The Brussels sprouts, and then we'll do maybe four of these cauliflower scallops or so. 4 of the most attractive cauliflower scallops. All right, let's see. Let me grab this. Let's see how hot this is. Oh, it's not too hot. All right, so I place it here. Place the lamb like this on the board. And I'm just holding it by the bone. It is hot, yes, but as I stated, you get used to that. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at how see how everything gets just on there. It's fresh. Look at that. Ooh, that's hot. That's hot, but we all right. We all right. We all right. Look at how that looks. So all the flavors are there. You're not missing anything. You coat it. Just coat it. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Look at that. It's a whole nother level right there. And guess what? You're welcome. You're welcome. So then we're going to drop this here like so. There's the dish. Look at that. Lamb chops, Brussels sprouts, and little cauliflower scallops. How good is that? Yeah? Now, let's eat. We got to try it. Let me get myself. We're going to dig in. Throw this over here. So, show you. It's a little, yeah, it's like a perfect, it still has a slight pinkish in there, in the lamb. Fantastic. Scallop. Wonderful. Who was doing the salsa with me before? Make a salsa again. Like my mouth is in fantastic. One more. The Brussels sprout with the fig jam and bacon. Hello. Woo! Savory, sweet, heat. Good Lord. Listen, I wish you guys were here to taste this with me. Fantastic. Thank you guys for joining. I really, really appreciate it. I love all of you guys for joining and asking questions and tuning in. I really appreciate it. Anything else before we sign off? You're gonna try those Brussels? Yeah, try the Brussels sprouts. It's really good. It's easy, tasty. Even if you're a parent, your kids may even enjoy it because it has like little. Maybe avoid the heat if they don't like spice, but everything else a little sweet on there. Yes, do it. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining, and we'll see you guys on the next live stream. We'll keep cooking. We'll keep cooking. Thank you guys. Love you. Bye.